We went and picked up the alcohol and then drank at what I guess was a vacant lot. Me and my friend just got in my car, and I can't really remember getting on the highway. I remember just slightly right before we hit the tree, I heard him scream my name. I picked him up and I shook him and I started screaming his name and just kept shaking him, and he wasn't responding to me. My next memory after that was being cut from the car.
Policemen went in and evidently told Eavan what they told me, that she had killed Lou, and all I could hear was blood-curdling screams.
I felt like I should have been the one to die. I was the one that made the decision to drive. I grew up in this wonderful neighborhood in Roxbury, New Jersey, and I was raised by both my parents. I have 2 older brothers. I was involved in dance. I was a Girl Scout. I was a good student. I was basketball, softball, soccer. I loved life.
It was a car accident, but it's considered a violent crime. And so consequently, she's in prison with people that go out and commit violent crimes, knowingly kill somebody, knowingly commit armed robbery.
I served 3 years, 11 months, and 1 day in state prison, and then I served 3 years on parole. I was so lost, and I think like the worst feeling about prison wasn't so much fear of like the other people around me. It was more just feelings of being left out.
From the beginning, she accepted responsibility, which I was proud of, and she would tell me, I deserve this sentence.
I was just riddled with guilt that I felt it was impossible to live my life, that like I just didn't really have the right to go on. And eventually I had to come to a place where it was like, this is still my life. Like I have to try to live it to the best of my ability. I started, taking a very active role in prison. I was part of the Puppies Behind Bars program. We trained dogs for law enforcement, and I did Project Pride, where we went out and we spoke to kids about making bad decisions. And what I learned very early on was that, there's other people there that just made bad decisions. It kind of means rebirth to me, and I got it shortly after the car accident, and where I decided I wasn't going to drink or use drugs ever again, and try to put my life back together and be a new person. And it's my daily reminder that I'm not the girl I was when I got in the car crash. I've been able to put my life together, and I decided to go back to college, and and I started dating for the first time in years, and my life's good today, and it's sad, but I got engaged last Friday.
There's many consequences of this, and one of the saddest ones that remains is the fact that Eavan still feels so badly with a happy occurrence with her engagement this week. It's still in the back of her mind, and that makes me very sad, but it also makes me very proud.
It's so important to ask for help, and to whether you're just upset over an awful grade, or like you're having some arguments with friends, or maybe your life at home isn't that great. There's so many counselors around you, whether they're in the school or whether they're in the programs outside the school. And I know for me, like I always believed everybody was doing what I was doing as a teenager. I was like, everybody's drinking, everybody's smoking pot, but I was wrong. There's a giant group of children that are not doing this. So many times we were drinking and someone would pass out and they'd be throwing up a lot, and we'd be afraid to call the cops, and we just hope that we'd make it through. Today, there's a law, the 911 Lifeline legislation, that's in place to really help adolescents to call for help if one of their friends is drinking too much, or if they're about to get in the car, or if they're highly intoxicated and need help.
This is real life, and it has such a rippling effect. It affects so many people, so many families.